Imagine being a game developer that worked on massive games and having the take that streamers should pay game developers for a license to stream their games. Imagine that level of being out of touch. I'm Papa Stanimus. This is another episode of The Feed. Thank you for watching. Before we get into the juicy details of this horrible, horrible opinion of this individual, I want to talk about today's sponsor. Me, Papa Stanimus. I sponsor these goddamn videos, and I really appreciate you guys watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment down below with your thoughts on this subject, and I won't delete your YouTube account. All right, promise. This guy, Alex Hutchinson, creative director of Google Stadia, is what his Twitter used to say. Doesn't say it anymore because it turns out that was bullshit. Said this on Twitter. I'm going to read it out loud for you. Streamers worried about getting their content pulled because they used music they didn't pay for should be more worried by the fact that they're streaming games they didn't pay for as well. It's all gone as soon as publishers decide to enforce it. This guy tweeted this on the 22nd of October, okay? And the whole internet just completely shit on this guy's opinion and just told him how bad of an opinion it is. There's a lot of great takes from some big creators. We're going to put those up for you on the screen soon. But this guy on the 22nd doubled down on this and was in the comments, balls deep in the comments, just defending this position. And people are like, what are you talking about? This guy's so out of touch. He doesn't understand that video game makers make game. Gamers with big popular or big followings play game. Gamers that watch the streamer play game, buy game. Studio, make money. Symbiotic relationship, okay? It's like the whales, and the whales are like, right? The whales are like, and then the little fishies are floating around in the water around the whale, and they're eating the plankton off the whale, all right? The whale gets all this stuff growing on it, and I think it's plankton. I don't know what it's called. Is that what it's called? The stuff that grows on the whales, right? And the little fishies swim around the whale and clean the whale for them. So they all live together in harmony. Everybody's winning, okay? The whale gets to eat a bunch of stuff and live harmoniously, and then all this crap that grows on it, the fish, they're like, well, thank you, whale, for growing all this gross stuff. I'm going to eat it off of you, okay? And then it's just kumbaya. I don't know why this guy, Alex Hutchinson, has his head so far up his butt, but he hasn't tweeted a thing since the 22nd, so I'm pretty sure the internet reaming he got, I feel pretty satisfied. Honestly, I mean, it would suck to have a really bad opinion on something and then the whole internet just come at you. I kind of feel bad now. Anyways, here's some of here's what Summit 1G had to say about this situation.
DMCA Weird Champ. The dumb take, Alex Hutchinson's weak-ass tweet earlier today on how streamers should pay devs to play games. It just doesn't, the only reason it doesn't make sense is because it's just, there's such a mutual benefit there that, that developers have expressed that they also want to partake in, you know what I mean? It's mutually beneficial that, if it's mutually beneficial that I enjoy playing your video game and can spend months on it and love doing it, the chat can love the content that comes out of it, and then the business or the devs and the company make money, you know, from developing it. That's all sounds pretty mutually, you know, fucking America, you know, capitalism. Everyone wins type of deal. It would be, quite frankly, it would just be impossible for new streamers to make it, because that in itself would just get you to step one. And we know step one isn't really shit, right? Because step one is getting the equipment and starting your stream. That doesn't mean anything yet. So yeah, basically streaming would just die, in my opinion, wouldn't it? The thought process behind it is like, is that it's compared to something like movies. And it's like, because Summit 1G bought a movie doesn't mean I'm allowed to watch it with you guys, right? So that's kind of like where I feel like this person's coming from, on the basis of like, but he's just trying to be like, yeah, that's how video games should be, right? But realistically, what people are saying is that, yeah, but a movie is just in stone what it is, you know? There's nothing but like anything talking over that a streamer can do, but a video game is interactive. So it's saying it's like, it's not a conflict of interest as much as it is a movie, because a movie is a not technically, but most likely a one and done type of deal, right? You watch a movie one time, more than likely you're not going to watch it again.
Summer1G is so chill, dude. He has such a good take. I think it's very similar to what just about anybody's thinking about this is, the game developers work with the streamers and everybody makes money, and, America, capitalism, it keeps going round and round and round. Everybody happy, right? I think that most developers probably, are on board with the correct thing. That's why we have this big ecosystem and stuff. And people like Summit1G are icons in the space. That developers know if Summit1G comes and plays their game, that's going to equal a lot of sales, especially if Summit's having fun. It's just the way it goes. With that said, let's listen to what Nadeshot had to say about this. He had in the Nadeshot and Courage podcast, they had a really nice discussion at the end about the subject, and let's hit it.
Yesterday was just a weird day for streamers and just the industry in general, because you had this, I don't even know his name, but the creative director of Google Stadia basically come out and say gamers should have to pay a licensing fee to play publishers' video games on their stream. And then, this guy, in my mind, almost committed career suicide. I don't know what today looks like for him, the emails and phone calls that he's getting from his bosses or other studios or publishers or past employers. But essentially, when you look at Fall Guys and you look at Among Us for what, 2 years had 10 concurrent players on this game. And if it wasn't for a couple streamers that picked this game up, and it has, spread like wildfire in the community, has become the #1 played game in Steam for the last few weeks, is blowing up on YouTube channels. Jack is one of the few creators, or not one of the few creators, but one of the biggest creators on the game right now. I mean, it just poses this question. It's okay, streaming is obviously mutually beneficial. We all know this, to studios and to the creators. And it's been this symbiotic relationship that I think has prospered and grown so many communities like YouTube and Twitch and the gaming vertical. And I just can't believe that in 2020, somebody could come out with commentary or, their thoughts that just seem so far removed from and out of touch from what is actually, playing out within the gaming industry.
And it's just real quick. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'll just say it anyway. It's when I looked at his profile, because he basically just said streamers should have to pay to play the games that we develop. And I looked at his, and it's so crazy how out of touch, how much he doesn't profile. And he has kind of some of his game accolades. And I have been sponsored for 2 out of the 3 games to play the game on my channel. So not only was I not paying for the game, the company was paying me because they understand the value of the Twitch community, the YouTube community. They understand the value of streamers so much that I was paid to play these games, which couldn't be more opposite of what he was reflecting in his tweets.
And another thing too, his Jacksepticeye chimed in, if I'm not mistaken, and was what I find really ironic is your header, which is a character laid down with slime on him from, I guess, a game called Savage or Journey to the Savage Planet. Mm-hmm. That was a fan art someone made because Jacksepticeye played the game Savage Planet. And that was his header. And then also another thing I noticed, because I went to his profile later in the day, Stadia was the #2 trend. Well, I'm sure they hated getting that much negative publicity, and it went up and down the chain. And now his bio says creative director at SG&E Montreal Studio. So
yeah, I saw that.
What I'm assuming is that he might have been a creative director on one of the teams, but put at Google Stadia and was probably get that the fuck out of your bio, because you're making us look like an absolute jackass.
But Justin Wong, who was one of the first couple employees at Twitch TV, I thought that he had a really great tweet. He was sending him screenshots of some of the studios that he's helped build games with, and it was Ubisoft, and it's from their support page. Can I stream your games on Twitch or YouTube? Yes, and this includes monetized channels as well. And then another screenshot, you are free to monetize your videos via the YouTube Partner Program and similar programs and other sharing sites. So it just goes to show you, man, you really got to dance around your own personal opinions.
Just smart dude. And, again, who's not going to have this position, right? It's everybody wins. If streamers have to pay to play a game and stream it, they're just going to go stream the game where the devs are yeah, just stream the game. It's good for us. Like if a company decided to like charge all the streamers, which they could, because like technically speaking, you know, like this is where the guy's argument comes from, is that they totally could, but should they? No one would play their game. No one would care. Even if it was a really big game, like let's say Elder Scrolls or something, and everyone had to pay a license to stream it, they're gonna get some people doing that, sure, you know, and like the big streamers are gonna be able to do it, but all those small streamers, they're not gonna stream it now. You know what I mean? It would kill the hype around the game that they're doing that. By doing that, they would create such a controversy. It would like the gamers would rebel against the game. That's the way gamers are. So this guy, Alex Hutchinson, totally didn't even he wasn't actually the creative director of Google Stadia, and Google Stadia put out a response to all this, a statement saying that they do not share any of the views this guy said, and they made him change his Twitter thing to say that he doesn't work for Google Stadia, which is really cool. But what are your guys' opinions on this particular subject? Just throwing this out there. I totally shot this video already. I had to shoot it again because of audio issues, so I'm kind of tilted, but you know, it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching this episode of The Feed. It was a pleasure making it for you. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you think. I want to know. I will respond. Make sure you check me out on Twitch, TTV Papastanimus. Probably live right now. And I love you guys. I will see you in the next video.